Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you what I wore, and I have the most amazing coffee fragrance for you. In fact, it's the best one I've ever smelled, so I'm super excited to share that with you as well. I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on the new Libre Le Parfum as opposed to Libre Intense. Give you my thoughts and tell you what my experience was wearing the two simultaneously and getting a feel for which one I liked best. So I'm going to give you all those thoughts plus everything I wore. And before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to hit that button, join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And if you already are a part of the community, you guys are amazing and I'm so thankful for you. And let's get started. So the first fragrance I want to share with you is La Petite Robe Noire Intense. Now, this is a major departure from the La Petite Robe Noire collection because it doesn't have any cherry in it. Most of them have some sort of version of cherry. This one doesn't. The dominant fruit note is blueberry. So I just find this one so delicious. It's not very often that I smell blueberry in a fragrance, so I love the color of this bottle. I love the smell, and where La Petite Robe Noire, like the majority of the collection, is sweet, slightly delicate, and a little bit cold feeling, in my opinion. The La Petite Robe Noire Intense is a lot warmer because blueberry to me is just a very, very warm smelling fruit, I guess. So this has cotton candy, blueberry, raspberry, cassis, and bergamot in the opening. So just an absolute delectable opening, but I'm mainly getting that blueberry. Then it has rose, orange blossom, and jasmine in the middle. And you notice the floral component, but really the star of the show is that blueberry. Then it has vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood, and musk in the base. I definitely get that vanilla, get a little bit of muskiness in the dry down. Overall, it's just sweet. It's definitely what I would consider, I guess, a floral gourmand, but I'm getting more of that gourmand or that fruit. But with that cotton candy, it's very sweet, very feminine, really fun. It lasts a long time on the skin. But what I did was I paired it with blueberry sugar pancakes. Oh my goodness! I smelled like a freaking blueberry candy floss pie. Like, I smelled so freaking delicious. So this blueberry sugar pancake says sugared blueberries, fresh pancakes, caramel cream drizzle. Oh yeah. Yeah, it smells delicious. It smells like blueberry pancakes. So the mixture of these for a nice autumn deliciousness, you can't beat this. So if you have this, go to Bath & Body Works and pick this up. It's so amazing, and the two together, it lasted all day, and it was just it's just a fun fragrance combo. The next fragrance that I wore was Tendre Madeliene by Les Senteurs Gourmands. So this is, it basically smells like a Madeleine. You know, those little kind of scalloped looking little cake-ish type things, really French. It smells like that. So it smells basically like baking. Yeah, it's gorgeous. There's a little hint of spiciness to it, a tiny hint of lemon. I wish there was actually a little bit more lemon in this because I just think it would balance the sweetness so nicely. The notes in this one are orange, vanilla sugar, Mexican vanilla, spices, bitter almond, and wheat. It just smells delicious. It smells like you smell like baking, and it's very yummy, very cozy. Very, very cozy for the fall. So definitely recommend this one. I think it's fairly affordable. I'll have everything linked down below. Always do. So if you're ever curious, everything's always linked down below. I definitely really enjoyed this and definitely want to try more in this perfume house because this was really scrumptious. Lasted like decent amount of time, like about 6 hours. Didn't project for that long, like I'd say probably 2 hours, but it was just really yummy and super cozy. Now the next fragrance that I tried again was Absolutio by Navitus Parfums. So, you know, I've talked about that one, that's one that's on my wish list. I wanted to wear it again this week. So I put it on and seriously, I'm in love with this fragrance. I kept on thinking there's something that's familiar about it. And lots of people on Fragrantica say that it smells like Baccarat Rouge 540. And I definitely, like, as soon as I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it smells like. So there's a bit of that Baccarat Rouge vibe, but this one has a bit more depth, a little bit more, I don't know, like it's just, it's got a little bit of spice in it, and like someone had said, it smells like a Christmas version of Baccarat Rouge 540. That totally made sense to me. Like, you get those spices and the warmth in it, as well as that sweet Baccarat feel. So I just think it's gorgeous. I just absolutely love it, and it lasts like a long, long time on my skin. It's just absolutely beautiful. I want to drench myself in it and go out and see if I get a compliment, because that'll be the ultimate test. But I am in love with that fragrance. So it has saffron, cinnamon, and almond in the opening. So again, that Baccarat feel because of the saffron. But I also just love that cinnamon, and definitely that cinnamon comes out. You have apple and toffee in the mid. I don't notice a whole lot of that apple, but I definitely get that toffee. And then it has driftwood, ambergris, musk, caramel, oak moss, and dark chocolate in the dry down. And I definitely get a little hint of that chocolate. I get the spiciness from, I'm assuming, that oak moss. I just think it's a gorgeous fragrance. If you've tried it, let me know what you think. I just think it smells great. So it's basically, to me, Baccarat Rouge 540, except throw some cinnamon and toffee in it and a little bit of chocolate. Yum! I'm seriously in love with it. So that was a major hit. Next fragrance I wanted to try that I have kind of struggled with in the past. So I wanted to give it another go, and it was The Only One Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. Now, recently I had said, oh, I think, like, I had tried Rouge Malachite, and I thought to myself, The Only One Intense kind of reminds me of it. So I wanted to give this one a try because I just absolutely fell in love with Rouge Malachite. Like, seriously, it was just amazing. So gave this one a try, and basically what I could say is, if I put on Rouge Malachite, I'm like, oh, I can smell The Only One Intense. Like, it reminds me a little bit of The Only One Intense. When I put this on, it doesn't remind me of Rouge Malachite. So Rouge Malachite is way more sophisticated, way more sophisticated, has more depth. This one's beautiful. Like, a lot of people love it. I love the opening of it. The dry down is a little lackluster, but I did enjoy wearing it this week. What I did was I put it with Bath & Body Works White Pumpkin and Chai, just to try this combination, and it was actually not too bad. So really warm, just kind of delicious, kind of vanillic. I like the sandalwood in this pairing with this lotion. So it was a nice enough combo. And again, this is a beautiful perfume, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't move me. Like, why? Like, I don't know why, but I really want to love this one. I think because I bought it, and it makes me mad that somehow I'm not, like, totally in love with it all the way. You know, that's actually, it's part of my personality. I'm all in or not at all. I think that's part of my problem. So if I lose my love for something, then it's just kind of like, I don't want to wear it. Like, I want to smell amazing all day, all the time. And so if it doesn't really speak to me, I find it gets neglected. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to part with this one, because as beautiful as it is, it just doesn't speak to me. I wish that opening lasted longer, but if I had to choose between Rouge Malachite and this one, I would pick Rouge Malachite over this one. Not that they're the same, but again, thinking about things that kind of fit scratch the same itch, yeah, this one falls flat for me. I've got one more, and then I'm going to share my amazing coffee fragrance that I'm so pumped about. So, La Nuit Tresor by Lancome. I hadn't actually worn this since I got it, because I got it right in the spring. So I thought I'd save it for the fall. I love this. So I've got the La Nuit Tresor Nude, which I wore all through the summer. Loved it. I love this one just as much. Interestingly, I don't find this one, like, I know everyone talks about it being deep, dark, sexy, sultry. And it is, like, it's an intoxicating fragrance, but I don't find it, like, I don't know, like, maybe I'm inappropriate, maybe I don't get it, but I don't find this one so, like, sexy that you couldn't wear it during the day. I wore it during the day, and I really enjoyed it. So this one in the opening has pear, tangerine, and bergamot. The middle notes are strawberry, vanilla accord, rose, and passion fruit. And then the base is praline, caramel, lychee, vanilla, patchouli, incense, coffee, licorice, coumarin, and papyrus. So literally a whack load of base notes. What I get is that really beautiful berry feel with this one. Berries and dark chocolate is basically what this is. It's super sexy. I love it. It's interesting because La Nuit Tresor Nude still smells like this. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it still smells like that. This is delicate, it's feminine, it's sensual, it's intoxicating, like addictive, because of those fruits and the chocolate, the caramel and the praline. Like, it's just warm, it's sweet, it's deliciousness in a bottle. Like, seriously, I love this one. I think I'm gonna wear it a lot. Like I said, I don't find it like so uber sexy that I wouldn't wear it during the day. What about you? Like I almost feel naughty. Like, is wearing something like this like wearing lingerie during the day? Because I don't see it. Like, I think this one's really gorgeous, but it's not, it's not that sexy to me. Maybe it's sexy to guys, I don't know. Like, it's gorgeous. I can see why it would be considered kind of sensual and sexy, because it's that sweet sort of vibe that guys tend to like. But I don't find this one overpowering or overly deep. So even though it's got lots of base notes in it, it lingers on the skin for a decent amount of time. Like, not majorly decent, like I got about 6 hours out of it. I think the Larive Taste of Kiss probably lasts longer than this one. But it's just so fun to wear because it just smells so good. Like, I loved smelling it all day. So I found the most amazing coffee fragrance. Like, seriously, best coffee fragrance I have smelt to date. Now, you know, I think of something like Intense Cafe, where cafe is in the name. And although it's a beautiful fragrance, really enjoy it. It basically has very little coffee. And the little bit that it does have, it's like, you know, those powdered coffees that are mixed with creamer and tons of sugar. That's what it smells like. So it's really, really, really sweet, 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 creamy coffee. Coffee addict, beautiful fragrance. But to me, again, it's that creamy kind of sweet coffee. And then as it dries down, it becomes more like a coffee cake. Like, you're getting lots of gourmand qualities that are more baking-like. And I wanted something that was just a great hit of massive black coffee with a little bit of sugar, and this is it. It's called Awake by Acro. This is seriously phenomenal. Like, it smells like freshly ground coffee, just brewed, and then you put a little bit of sugar in there. That's what you're getting. Like, this has coffee, vetiver, and a little bit of lemon. There's one other note in there, I can't remember. The lemon, don't really notice the lemon, but it's, cardamom. It has cardamom in it. So the coffee and the cardamom definitely come together, and that cardamom kind of amps up the feel of kind of like a dark roast, but also adds a hint of sweetness. So I think that this one is amazing. I love it on its own, lasts forever on the skin. Great projector. It didn't feel like I spilled a cup of coffee on me, but it did smell like a good coffee fragrance. So this would be great for amplifying coffee in any one of your coffee fragrances, or if you want to throw coffee in with something else. So I wouldn't mind trying this with the Only One Intense, or even doing it with a cherry fragrance, or just using it to layer in. Like, the possibilities are endless. So I absolutely love this. If you've been craving that dark roast black coffee with sugar but no cream, look no further. This one, it definitely hits the mark. I'm so impressed with it. I just absolutely love it. So Awake by Acro, amazing, amazing coffee fragrance. It would be, like, seriously amazing to layer. And this, again, is a borrowed bottle from Hesse, but this is one that's definitely going on my wish list because it definitely hits the mark for a coffee fragrance. I've been looking for one for a long time. There's one other one I'm checking out as well, which I'll tell you about maybe next week, and then tell you which one I like better out of the two. But this one, super impressed with it. I just absolutely love it. So the last fragrances that I want to talk about are Libre Intense and Libre Le Parfum. Now, I was never a fan of the original Libre. I just found it not as good as Mon Guerlain, so it's definitely lavender centric, like lavender forward. And for me, Mon Guerlain fit that kind of spot. The original Libre, it just didn't do it for me. So I tried Libre Intense, and that one I definitely liked better. It was a vanillic, but there was still quite a lot of lavender in it. I was really excited to try Libre Le Parfum because that one is way less lavender. So I tried them both on. I went perfume sniffing. I tried the Intense and the Le Parfum on. And what I found was initially when I put them on, I preferred Libre Le Parfum, so the new one. It was really smooth, vanillic. There was some depth to it. It was just absolutely delicious. The notes on it are ginger, saffron, mandarin orange, and bergamot in the opening. The middle notes are lavender and orange blossom. So you're getting a little bit of that lavender, but it's definitely more in the background. And then the base is bourbon, vanilla, honey, and tonka bean. Definitely get that vanilla tonka bean feel to it. There's a real smooth richness to Le Parfum. So in the opening, it was amazing. I didn't notice any of the lavender really, like it was really in the background. You got a little bit of spice, but it was just a beautiful, well-rounded, smooth, deep vanilla. And it was absolutely gorgeous. Like as a vanilla fragrance, super beautiful. Now, the Intense version, when it opens up, it's definitely more herbaceous with that lavender. So I got tons of lavender right off the bat, and I definitely preferred Le Parfum off the bat. The opening of Intense is lavender, mandarin orange, and bergamot. So you miss out on that ginger, that spicy quality, but you've got that lavender back, and it's like nice and strong. And then it has lavender, orange blossom, jasmine sambac, and orchid in the mid. So a little bit more floral. And then the base is Madagascar vanilla, tonka bean, vetiver, and ambergris. So what I found was in the beginning, loved Le Parfum. Like it was this smooth, rich vanilla, a little bit of a spiciness with that ginger, and then like the tonka, everything. It was just gorgeous, super smooth, just delicious. The Intense version, definitely more herbaceous. You get some of that vanilla, but it's more herbaceous and floral. It's definitely deeper, so it's got that richness in it. Way nicer to me than the original, but definitely preferred Le Parfum. It was just so much more smooth. Now, as they dry down on the skin, the Le Parfum version to me stays fairly linear. And it was smooth and it was beautiful. It kind of lost its spiciness a bit and just became a lot more vanillic, but a really pretty vanilla. Now the Intense version, that lavender stays, but it kind of comes into the background. So you still smell it, but then you've got all these other notes, a little bit of spiciness. It's just, to me, more interesting than Le Parfum. So Le Parfum is beautiful if you really prefer vanilla and you don't really like the lavender, but you wouldn't mind a little hint of it with that honey and the tonka and just what's going on in there. Super beautiful vanilla. If you're wanting something a little more complex, I would go with Libre Intense, because you're definitely getting a more complex kind of layered fragrance. As it dries down, to me, the Intense was definitely the standout for me. So that was my quick little review. The other thing that I noticed was I felt like the Intense lasted longer on my skin. So, take that for what it's worth. It's not like I sprayed a whole bunch on. It was just testing both of them on my skin. As for now, if I had a choice between the two, I'd pick the Intense. If you have the whole entire line, honestly, like I know people have said, well, I don't really, this is redundant. I don't necessarily think it is, because you're losing a lot of that vanilla. You're getting a little spicy kick with that ginger in the Le Parfum, and it's just a smooth, beautiful vanilla. So if you're a vanilla lover, and you could take or leave lavender, go for the Le Parfum because it's actually really stunning. So those are my thoughts. I would choose the intense version, but I wasn't mad at Le Parfum. It's just I preferred the intense because I like a little bit of that lavender. So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? If you've tried them, weigh in. I would love to know. And again, going back to the Awake with that coffee fragrance, if you've tried that or you have a coffee fragrance that you absolutely love, please let us know. And that is it. I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.